Am I the only one that feels like music just doesn't hit like it used to? Do y'all remember when the music industry was going through a civil war a few years ago? Apple Music and Tidal both launched in 2015 and completely shifted the entire music industry, especially the way fans consume music. And obviously companies like Spotify and Pandora, those are already a thing, but you had artists signing exclusive streaming deals. Like Chance the Rapper with this Trash album was exclusive to Apple Music, and then you had Kanye West, The Life of Pablo, exclusive to Tidal. Thankfully, those exclusive album days are over, but everything in the music industry changed once streaming became the go-to way to listen to music. I mean, record sales was impacted, the length of albums and songs were impacted, the record deals that artists were signing were impacted. I mean, everything seemed to change in a quick few years. And I'm an old man, I'm 30 years old, and I know I'm one of those strange people that I still prefer physical media over digital. Like, I have a huge CD collection, and I know that vinyl sales over the years have increased a lot, but the internet and music streaming has had such a negative impact on everything, and in my opinion, it's kind of ruined music for fans. First off, I don't know if it's because I'm getting older, but a lot of the artists today are garbage. One of the main issues that I have with music streaming today is that I feel like we simply don't have enough time to truly appreciate music anymore. Like, do you know how often on social media I'll see somebody say, man, that album really came and went? I feel like you can say that about almost every project today because we don't sit with albums anymore. Like today, you might listen to an album maybe 2 or 3 times. You're gonna pick a few individual songs and then move them over to a playlist. And that's it, bruh. It's so much music that comes out these days. Like, the most time you have to listen to an album is maybe a week, because by next Friday, you're gonna have a whole new batch of albums to listen to. Back in my day, if you bought an album or if you downloaded a mixtape, yo, mixtapes on DatPiff used to be free, which is crazy. But back in those days, you used to actually have time to sit and grow with the album. And I feel like today, it's so many projects that they just run and flow like a playlist because people don't care about the traditional album anymore. A lot of music today just comes off as a try to get rich quick scheme, in my opinion. Like for hip hop, I was there for the blog era. I remember J. Cole, Drake, Wale, Kid Cudi, Mac Miller, Wiz Khalifa, basically too many great artists to name. And at least for hip hop, the generation after that is what a lot of people might call the SoundCloud era. That's where you got rappers like Lil Uzi, Lil Yachty, Playboi Carti, and others. I was in my early 20s during that whole era. Even back then, I hated all that. But with the internet and music streaming today, literally anyone could be an artist, especially a rapper. Even your best friend that always asks you to promote his new single on Instagram, and you ignore them. The internet opened up the floodgates and ended that era of gatekeeping, which is good and bad in my opinion. Like at one moment you'll be working at McDonald's, and then the next you'll be opening up at Coachella and performing at every other festival going on this summer. In most cases, it's no such thing as artist development anymore. You can post one song and then your life will be changed forever. A few years ago, I went to see Pusha T perform, and it was a great concert. He actually rapped his words instead of using a background track. His breath control, his crowd control, you don't really get a lot of that today. That's why what Kendrick did at the Pop-Out show was so amazing, because concerts cost way too much money these days than for you to go to a show, watch your favorite artist get on that stage, and basically just do karaoke. Young Thug's baby Mariah the Scientist said in an interview that her second ever performance in front of people was at a Rolling Loud music festival. And I remember her getting killed on the internet because she looked terrible. That could be the story for a lot of artists, because labels today don't want to develop talent. They don't want to sign you based off of your potential. If you got a decent social media following and a viral song, you're gonna get a record deal. With the internet and music streaming today, it's all about playlists and algorithms. Back in the day, you would pay a DJ to get your song on the radio or to play your songs in the clubs. Today, all your money is going to playlist placements and social media algorithms. You have artists that are purposely making songs because it fits into a TikTok. Like Drake is my guy, but a song like Tootsie Slide is clearly a song that's made for TikToks and Instagram Reels. What's even more awkward and shameful in my opinion is that it's been a few cases where artists will straight up tweet at their followers, hey, come up with a catchy new dance for my new song, hoping that it goes viral. It's also no coincidence that songs are getting shorter and shorter, and that's because of the attention span of modern fans. An artist like Forbats is one of the most popular acts of the year, and he dropped an 11-song album, and only one song is over 3 minutes. His 11-track album is 24 minutes long. And then in other cases, you might have an artist, they'll drop an album that's like 22 songs, and it'll still only be like 45 minutes. Back in the day, I feel like most songs on albums would be at least 3 minutes long. Streaming has also impacted how we look at albums, and in some cases, It's getting ridiculous. If you've been living under a rock, a few weeks ago, Sabrina Carpenter and Travis Scott both dropped albums, and it was surrounded by a lot of controversy. At first, it was being reported that Travis Scott was #1, and then it was being reported that Sabrina Carpenter was #1. Sabrina Carpenter, I believe she outsold Travis Scott by like 1,000 albums, and then Travis Scott and his camp, they were complaining that Sabrina Carpenter and her camp were being funny with the numbers. In case you don't know, all of these numbers are fake. I mean, today we got streaming farms, you got bots that ruin everything, you got bots that raise the views up on your YouTube videos, you got bots that's interacting with your Twitter accounts, you got bots that like all your social media posts, and of course we can never forget bundles, bundles, and more bundles. Taylor Swift has kind of become known as the queen of doing this. She does this like every day at this point, but you have artists that'll purposely do things to try to work around the system. You have an artist that's gonna be like, I'm gonna sell you an album. It's gonna be the same exact album, the same exact songs, but I'm gonna make 3 different versions so you can get 3 different artworks on the cover and you can buy each one of them. I'm gonna also sell you a $65 hoodie, but I'm gonna throw in the digital album just so I can help boost my album sales. Artists like NBA YoungBoy have the youth in the palm of their hands. It's a generation of kids out there that bite people and sniff glue, and all they do is get home from school, turn on their PlayStation, and listen to NBA YoungBoy. His streaming numbers are crazy. He'll sell 100,000, 70,000, 60,000 in his first week, but if you actually look deeper at the numbers, only about 1,000 would be pure album sales, meaning that it's all streams. I'm also worried that we're getting to a point where we don't know where we come from. Like, it's gonna be a lot of older music that gets completely lost. Back when I was growing up, we actually listened to the radio. I know if you're under like 25, that sounds crazy, but we listened to the radio. We had 106 in Park, we had TRL. MTV actually showed music videos and not just Rob Dyrdek all day. I'm black, so I listen to mainly hip hop and R&B, but growing up, I was a fan of pop and rock music, and that's because of MTV. Like, I remember every morning before school, I would turn on MTV and I would see Lady Gaga, I would see Katy Perry. I don't remember her name, but I used to hate seeing this song every morning. The VMAs were a few weeks ago. I don't know any of these new pop acts anymore. I feel like unless you're tapped into that world, you don't know what's going on. Tupac is one of my favorite rappers, and he died when I was 3 years old. I saw documentaries and I heard him on the radio and I wanted to hear more. Nirvana is one of my favorite groups, and the only reason why I found out about them is because I was watching VH1 and VH1 was having a countdown of the top 100 greatest songs from the 90s. It Smells Like Teen Spirit was #1. I don't feel like kids really have that option today. Why would I listen to the radio when I can listen to what I want, when I want? And I feel like in most cases, for a lot of people, they aren't gonna go back and listen to older music unless somebody points them in that direction. Like, outside of his outfits and his dance moves, do kids even know who Michael Jackson is? And I get it, people grow old, people move on, things get forgotten in the past, but I just feel like we're gonna miss out on so much good music because people today, they don't really have an avenue or a channel to go back and discover that music. It's kind of like when I go to the club and the DJ be like, oh, we gonna take it back to the 90s, and then they only play Poison and This Is How We Do It. I've just never been a big fan of streaming, whether it's music or video games. I like holding the actual physical disc. Like, bro, do y'all remember GameStop at midnight? Y'all wasn't outside for that, but it's just like at some point, these big companies, they could just take whatever album, whatever video game, whatever movie, TV show you want to watch, they could just take it off the platform and there's nothing you can do about it. Like TV shows, movies, I'm kind of 50-50 on. I don't mind watching Netflix, but when it comes to like music, I just love getting that CD in the mail and actually looking through the album notes, the production credits, and the thank you notes. I know I'm a nerd, I'm an old man, but what do I know? But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things in this channel. What are your thoughts on this topic? If you're an older fan like me, do you feel like it's harder to enjoy music today? And if you're a younger fan, do you ever get the urge to go back and listen to music from the early 2000s, the 90s, or the 80s? Let me know in the comment section below. Love you guys. Tell someone you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.